Court is calling 2019 CR 4747, State of Texas versus Zachary Prince.
Okay, right out the gate, tension is thick. That wasn't just a side eye from the judge. That was a full-blown stop talking before I hold you in contempt moment. You can already tell this isn't your average courtroom drama.
Now parties approach and announce for the record for the state.
I can go the opposite.
For the defense.
Mr. Prince.
All right, Mr. Prince, thanks for addressing appropriately for court. But why were you late?
We were on time.
All right, so late is when you're not in the courtroom.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
Plus, he was driving in from Odessa this morning.
All right. So you entered a plea bargain agreement on July 12th and applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. The state opposes your application. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there are no contact with Caden Pagus. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, sir.
Defense?
Yes, sir.
Any objections to the PSI report?
Here's something key. The court mentions an affirmative finding of family violence. That's not just a label. It can trigger long-term consequences like losing gun rights or affecting custody. Even if probation's granted, this tag sticks.
State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right. State, do you have any witnesses?
No witnesses, just argument, Judge.
Defense, any witnesses?
Yes, please, Judge. Call Audrey Fuller.
All right. Audrey Fuller. All right. State your name for the record.
Audrey Fuller.
All right. Defense?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Fuller, how are you related to Zachary Prince?
I'm his mother.
And you could face forward so that
Okay.
she can hear you better.
I'm his mother.
I heard we spoke before court this morning, correct?
Yes.
And you referred to Zachary by another name?
Devontae, that's his middle name.
Okay, so if you talk about a Devontae here, you mean Zach,
Yes.
Zach Prince. How are you employed, Ms. Fuller?
I'm 100% disabled veteran. I don't work.
So you served in the military?
Yes.
And I think that's reflected in the pre-sentence report. During Zach's childhood and growing up, you were in the military?
Yes.
What branch?
Army?
And that was throughout the time that Zach lived with you as a child and before he moved out?
Yes, sir.
How was Zachary as a child?
He was a sweet, happy child. He was very loving. He is very loving.
And what about in his older years, like high school years and teenage years?
He didn't change. He's always been a sweet kid. I always loved him, very protective.
Any behavioral issues with him?
No,
Was he respectful with you?
he's always been respectful with me.
Any issues in high school, getting into trouble or anything like that?
No.
You know what he's charged with and what he pled to in this case.
Yes, sir.
What are your feelings about that you would like the judge to know?
I don't know.
Well, I'd like to ask the question,
Okay.
answer the questions first.
Well, with my wholeheartedly, I believe that my son did not do this.
And by not doing it, you know the facts of where the
That
baby
the
was.
baby, yes.
Yeah, you have to let me finish before you speak because she's taking everything down. That he left the child in the bathtub and the child was burned with water, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you know he did that. So at the very minimum, he was neglectful for not
Yes.
keeping an eye on the child after he left it in the bathtub,
Yes.
right? How many children does Zachary have?
Yeah.
And what are their ages? Do you know?
Yes. 11, 10, 7, 6, 4.
Does he spend much time with his children?
He works out of town, but
Here's something key the court mentions, an affirmative finding of family violence. That's not just a label. It can trigger long-term consequences like losing gun rights or affecting custody. Even if probation's granted, this tag sticks.
whenever he's home, he always gets me. He had him this weekend at my house.
And through the years, has he spent a lot of time with his children in your presence?
Yes.
What kind of father is he to his children?
He's a very loving father. He loves his kids and they love him also.
Have you ever seen him lose his temper with the kids?
I've never seen him ever get upset with kids.
Have you ever seen him do anything to discipline them, reprimand them, that you thought maybe was over the line in how he did it?
No, he's never done it.
Have you ever seen him physical with the kids?
No, not ever.
Or neglectful with the kids? How about aside from the kids? Have you ever seen him violent or physical?
Never in my presence. Zachary would never intentionally hurt any child ever. Although he had to plead, it was solely based off of his chance of proving his innocence, which have been extremely slim. I do believe that he is guilty of one thing, that is neglect. He never should have left the child in the bathroom alone. Zachary has felt extremely remorse for his actions ever since the incident. I'm here to plead to the court to grant mercy on my child dwelling in sin and faith. He is a great, loving, and protective parent of his 5 children who all need him in their lives. They all love their father very much. It would be hard on them. Physically, I haven't seen anything. I just, no.
Okay. So is it fair to say you haven't reviewed any offense reports, police reports? You haven't reviewed any of the medical history?
No.
You haven't reviewed any of the photographs?
Yes.
So despite not reviewing any of that, you still believe that your son is innocent?
Yes.
Okay. Do you realize that in the stipulations that a medical professional, a doctor, said that the pattern of the
Intentional immersion, in legal terms. That swings this case hard toward a knowing act, not just, oops, I turned my back for a sec, and there it is. The burn patterns show no splashing, just clean lines, which doctors say is textbook 4.
burn in this case has clear lines of demarcation and no splashing, which means that it was an intentional immersion.
Judge, I'll object to the form of the question.
All right, just a moment. State, could you repeat your question, please?
So there's a medical report in there from a doctor who says that the clear lines of demarcation and the lack of evidence of splashing in this case shows that this appears to be a immersion, even putting somebody in water. Did you know that?
No.
Okay.
So you're saying that they're saying that he held him underwater?
That's what it appears to be. Were you aware of that?
No.
Okay. Because according to your son's statement, he says that the child's in there and the water's flowing over him, but there is no burns on this child's chest.
Judge, I would object. She's already said she doesn't have knowledge of that. She had not reviewed the reports or the evidence. It's just argumentative.
All right, that'll be overruled.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Does that change your mind about whether you know that he's innocent about this?
Yes, it doesn't change my mind.
Okay. So regardless of what you hear, you know that your son's innocent.
Yes, because the way I know him, that Devontae, he's never hurt a child ever. I've never seen her. We have 50 kids in our family, young kids, and he always takes care of these kids. He's never seen him. I've never ever seen him do anything out of line, touch them, hit them, yell at them, anything. And he's 30, and we have him all ages, and he's never done this. So for him to do something like this, that's not a character. I can't believe it.
Okay, were you aware that he's a suspect in another injury to a child case in Gilmore?
I'm aware of that. That's my grandson.
Okay.
And when my grandson got to my house, he had those marks on him before he even whoever dropped, whether his mom didn't drop him off, someone else dropped him off at my mother's house, and my mother noticed me, and my mom just told me, and then my mom told him that he had marks on him, and they were the same marks that the doctor saw. So
Okay.
he had those injuries previously.
What about the head injuries in the case?
I don't know the head injury.
Okay. So maybe we're just talking about a different case then.
There's just one case.
Okay. So you know his full criminal history?
Mhm.
Okay. So are you aware that he has any other pending cases?
Not that maybe if you tell me what they are.
Well, I want to know what you have. What you know. Tell me what you know about the other pending cases.
I know that he had one
Okay, the girlfriend takes the stand. New perspective, but same theme. He's great with my kids. But remember, character witnesses aren't cross-examining the injuries. Does her personal experience override forensic evidence? What do you think?
Be often. Correct. Are you aware of the allegations in this case?
I am now.
Okay. Does that give you any concern for having your kids around him?
No. I mean, from my personal experience with him and the way that my children care for him and how he's been a very good role model for them and been there for them, but I don't question him around my kids.
And just to be specific, I'm asking about knowing the allegations in this case. You don't have any issue with your children being around Zachary?
I do not.
That's what it's.
How old are your children?
10 and 8.
All right, thank you. Thank you for coming in. Defense, call your next witness.
No other witnesses, Your Honor. No other witnesses, Your Honor.
Mr. Prince, is there anything you wish to say? You can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you hear will be the truth and nothing but the truth to help you God? You can lower your hand.
I just wanted to make a statement, if that was okay.
Sure.
I just wanted to let the court know that I have the utmost remorse about what happened. I mean, at the end of the day, I take full responsibility because I should have done an unselfish adult about it and been watching Kaden the whole time. And I understand the allegations against me, and whatever the court decides, I'm 100% with it. But I mean, the probation is on the table, which I heard is slim, but if it is on the table, there won't be any problems out of me. And I think that'll be the best option for me, my children and my family. But I'm like a real staple and pillar within my family. That's all.
All right. So have you seen the photos in this case?
No, I was there at the hospital when he was found.
All right. So I'm looking at the photos, and there are extensive burns to his bottom, and then there's extensive burns to his chest. I don't understand your story because it doesn't seem to be consistent with the photos and the information that the court has reviewed. And I will tell you, even though Judge Angelini is the judge that took this plea, I read over all of the PSI reports and I reread all the stipulations.
It happened now. I'll say it happens.
All right. Any questions from the state?
I think the court inquired about what I was interested in.
All right. Defense, any clarification needed from your point? Because what the court is reviewing and seeing is a 2-year-old who has no skin remaining on his bottom because of scalding hot water. And it appears from the photo that I'm reviewing, his entire chest is covered and back with burns and removed because of scalding water. Yes.
That they took that off at the hospital. They took more than they were supposed to.
Cut more of his skin off?
Yes, ma'am. When me and his mother went to the hospital, they told us, okay, this is only what we're taking off. And then they chose to take more of his skin off. I don't know why. When we got to the hospital, we both broke down about this whole situation. We seen him cast up like we did. We didn't know what was going on. We thought it wasn't as severe as it was.
Well, explain to the court why you didn't call EMS immediately, because I read the PSI report and it states that you put lotion on his body as opposed to calling.
Aloe vera. I put aloe vera on it, not thinking it was severe, and I called.
Well, no, I'm reading in the PSI report, and you state in the PSI report that his skin was falling off. So how is that not serious?
And that's why when his mother came, I said, let's go to the hospital right now. And I just, at that time, if I could go back and change it, I would call EMS first. But I wanted to keep his mother in the know. I didn't want her to, she's real sensitive. And I didn't want her breaking down or doing something out of the ordinary. work harder and convince her to take him to the hospital. But he didn't want to take him to the hospital, but I said the best thing to go to the hospital.
Well, then I have an issue with her parenting skills as well. So it appears that the baby is not placed with her. Am I correct?
I don't know what it
The
is.
child is with her, Judge. I don't know if that.
Well, thank you. If the defendant's testimony is correct, then Child Protective Services review your cases. All right, the court will hear argument. State.
Judge, I think it's pretty clear just from the photographs in this case, his inability to relay a true version of what happened on this case. You can see from the burns that this is not a child splashing around in the water with burns all over the body. There's clear deep lines of demarcation, which indicates, from the professional standpoint, I believe, which is contained in the stipulations, that this child was held and immersed in the hot water. A 2-year-old. I don't know what in the world could justify a 2-year-old having half of his body burned with skin coming off. We have the witnesses for the defense that came in here are clearly, understandably biased. I understand mom wants to come in here and tell this court that he is just neglectful. No, and he pled to an intentional and knowing act, because that is what he did. This child has permanent scars on his body with no justification. I think the offer was generous in this case for 10 years. And so we're asking that you deny his application and that you sentence him to the full 10 years because he deserves every single day of that 10 years.
All right, defense.
Judge, I'm not an expert or physician, and that's I can't argue how it happened. I can tell you what my opinion is. I can see that it could have entirely happened the way Mr. Prince says it happened. The child turned the faucet to hot when he was left in there alone, which was the neglectful act. And the water splashes on his chest, turns, hits his back, and he falls, goes down, and is on the body. I can see how those isolated, and I don't know why you're making those faces to me, Judge. You can.
I'm not making. First of all, stop. One, I'm not making any faces. Number two, I'm looking at you and listening to your argument, counsel.
I know that facial expressions, Judge.
Well, your notation is incorrect. You may continue with your argument.
If it was an immersion, in my opinion, but again, I'm not a physician nor an expert. But I just can't see on these facts how anyone who's not a physician or an expert can just say with 100% certainty it couldn't have happened that way. I can't accept that. If it were immersion, I would expect that it would be all the way around, not just in patches. How could it merge it just in portions, in just the chest, so just the body? That doesn't make sense to me. But I'm not a physician or doctor. I'm just saying I can't see how any of us who aren't physicians or experts could know for certain.
State.
Well, I'm not finished, Judge. Mr. Prince is from a good family, as you've noted. Had a good upbringing, did everything that we would expect from someone going to school, graduating, working hard, good role model for his brother, taking care of his kids. He's taking responsibility for this act, for what he did do. I guess we could sit here all day and argue what that was. But he's got no felony priors. Sending him to prison for this when it's questionable to me is severe. I know that the injury to the child is severe. It's a tough type of case. But sending him to prison, I don't think resolves anything. He needs to be out here taking care of his kids financially and otherwise. And so I hope you will consider the deferred with conditions, with ISF, with other things that could address maybe a punishment aspect. That's all I have.
State.
Just briefly, Judge, I know Mr. McCrum's not an expert. I'm not an expert. The court is not an expert. But there is an expert opinion contained within the stipulations.
And that's the hammer. 10 years. No probation. The judge reviewed everything, including testimony in those burned photos, and still denied the application. This wasn't just about remorse. It was about accountability, irreversible harm, and a system that doesn't always buy second chances.
What the state is relying on, because this 2-year-old can't tell anybody what happened to them we have to rely on the experts in this case, which is clear, which is contained in the stipulations that this was an immersion case. And so, again, we're asking that you deny his application and sentence him to the full 10 years.
All right, anything else, counsel? All right. After reviewing the stipulation and reviewing all of the evidence, and Mr. Prince, the court has listened to the witness's testimony, and I always appreciate when witnesses come in because they give me a more global view of a person that's standing before me than just what's in the PSI report. All right, the court is going to deny your application, find you guilty. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Caden Pegas. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Give you credit for any time served, and the court will sentence you to 10 years in the prison. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. You reviewed that document with your attorney. Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, and also because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you, Mr. Prince.
Judge, this is a case where there's victim impact on Zoom. I believe
Okay.
they're in.
There's no one in Zoom.
Or isn't?
Thomas was in the waiting room.
There's absolutely no one in the waiting room. If you want to check with them and see if they are